Kings and queens, clash your swords. Yes, y'all. And y'all kings and queens already know.
100 kings and 100 queens.
Got to show 'em. Yeah. Show 'em the decency and order. You know, there's a lot of beings, individuals that want to get things done quick, fast, in a hurry. I'm going to start this off by saying, when you come into any group that's thorough with what they do, you cannot come in and think you can rush everything. There is a step-by-step process that you yourself must go through. And that doesn't always require you doing something. On my end, I have to do something. On King Harry's end, he might have to do something. So when you're dealing with us, give us the time, the privacy to handle what we need to handle. In a spiritual battle, I can tell you this, physically, you can't allow the physical, to override the spiritual. As I said this before, and I'm going to say it again, this is a spiritual battle. So in the meantime, when you're waiting on me to get whatever back to you or look over whatever, please meditate. Study the videos. There's a playlist called Secured Private Creditor. While you're waiting, you need to be studying that. And some of you who missed answers on the test need to go back again and study those answers. Okay? The right ones from the videos. Now, I wasn't going to be doing anything till probably Friday, because I told y'all to give me time to mourn, and I know King Richard, my advisor, going to tell me, man, anybody coming at you like that, you need to cut their behind out of the group. You don't interrupt someone's mourning, okay, when they're mourning. And of course, I've been doing a little meditating and looking at certain things to calm my mind, going through some things that I might have been behind on, clearing the pathway, cleaning out the clutter. But one thing that I know is this. I want every last one of y'all to hear me clearly. A lot of you do not follow directions. Why? I do not know. Some of you like just poking your chest out. I'm not going to listen to you. I'm going to do it my way. Well, if you want to come in this group and want to do things your way, when we already have a way to do things and set up, then you better exit out. Because you're not going to come in our group and change the way we operate. We operate in decency and order. I don't care what government agency sent you, what fake guru sent you, I won't budge. And always remember, there's someone that came before you that I'm working with. I'm researching their documents. Probably meditating. Don't think you're just going to throw an application my way and doggone it, I'm just going to let you on in. Let you run with the paperwork. Because a lot of you are trying to take this paperwork and try to fill it all out at one time. That ain't how you do it. So that's what we have on the screen today. The new entry checkoff list. This is the order you follow. If you don't want to follow it, haul-tail. And there's a reason why this thing is done this way. Now, if you watch the video called 5 Steps to Get In and How to Sue by Mail, it breaks down what you have to do before you lead up to this number 1 on this screen here. Then I go further into detail with it, and I did explain all this in that video leading up to number 4. So do not disrespect me for the one king that came in the day and he had the nerve to throw Bible scripture at me like I'm freaking stealing. I don't steal, and you won't find no wrong with me. So unless I get an apology from you, you can exit stage left and get the hell out of this group. Start listening to what I tell y'all. Like everybody who bought that album, Eyes Haven't Seen. I made it very clear in the video King Richard would tell you. I told everyone, send your phone number and your address so I can mail your certificates. But since, let me see, where's this list at? There is 29 bees that bought that album. Might be a little bit more because I haven't finished going through the list. And out of the 29, only 3 gave me their mailing address. Let me give a shout out to King Juan, Queen Crystal, King Mike. Actually, I take it back. That were well, those are the ones that sent their address. King Jimmy. And I already have King Richard's address, so you really didn't have to send it because I sent him so much stuff. But he did leave his phone number. You know, you have to follow directions, follow the instructions. And then some of you probably wonder, well, where's my certificate? Well, I tell you what, you won't get it through the mail now. See, this is what happens. When the group don't want to listen and don't want to follow the instructions, everybody's going to suffer. If someone was telling you how to jump the fence to get free, and then only 2% did it the correct way, then the others that didn't follow the 2% is going to die off, or something bad's going to happen to them. So what I decided to do is email it to you and leave it up to you to print it. And you won't get the paper that don't rip. I'm not going to do it now. Since it's a digital album, I'm going to give it to you digitally. That's through the email. It's up to you to print it on white watermark bond paper. So now you're the Treasury, you're the Mint, you print your own money. Print as many as you want. But if you don't print it on watermark bond paper, it's not like an original. So stop being cheap. Stop trying to go against what I tell you to do, because I done this already. Plenty others done it too. There's a reason behind putting it on white watermark bond paper. When you print it off of your bill collectors, you're going to print it in black and white. All 4 sheets. Get it notarized, and then you're going to get it authenticated for your foreign country where your 9(a) trust is or going to be, which should be Kenya. Saudi Arabia. Again, I told y'all, do not go with Ghana. They're crooks. They're killers. Scandalous. Scam artists. Just like Nigeria. If I offended anybody, it's only facts. We all know this. The United States government know this. So, that's what you got to do. Then you deliver that to the bill collector with your power of attorney 236 form, which is in your trust name. Should be your first, middle, last with the word trust. All that other crap, I told you, I'll throw that out the window. If your name don't say that of your trust, you got the wrong trust. It's a foreign grantor's trust. In the United States, when you do your trust documents only on step 8, you don't supposed to have no trust documents yet. Okay? You can operate in trust as an expression. Okay? Don't have to have all that paperwork. You ain't going to get no bank account right away anyway. Because this bank account really supposed to be in your with it, not in the trust. So, that's how you do that. Along with the bill and along with the acceptance for credit of the bill or the contract, your affidavit of ownership, and your assignment deed. So don't think you just run out there with 1 or 2 documents. No, no, no. It's a process. And I'm not finna give it all to you right now. Okay? You want to know the process, go watch the video called 7 Steps to Buy a Home. And that breaks down the bill pay process. The same way you buy the home is the same way you pay the bill. Okay? So, with that being said, let's get into this new entry checkoff list. Okay? So, at the top, you have the university and the tribe barcode, representing that we are tribe. It's like my grandbaby Kaylee say, we are tribe. Matter of fact, I'm going to play that song at the end of this video. And I'll play it in memory of Queen Cheryl because she loved that song. She loved Kaylee. She really liked Kaylee. So I'm going to play that in this video. But this barcode is this logo here. The barcode is what you have when you go get your world passport. Okay? When you get your world passport, you can get your world passport at any time. And that's not on this list. But I'm telling you. But you need to have your documents into the IRS before you do that. Okay? Just going to tell you that. And I'll get to that. And those documents are what you have to get to the IRS. So it says new entry checkoff list. You put the day's date or the date, because this is only when you're submitting this to me. Okay? So I can see what you've done. Your name. That's your beneficiary name and your king or queen name. I want both there. Don't say I didn't tell you. Your phone number. Now, once your test has been done and I didn't pass you and it's completed, you're going to check right here, okay? Then after you do the test, I send you to King Harry to be our King Lamont to be interviewed. After that, you come back to me and let me know that it's okay or that King Harry passed you. At the same time, simultaneously, King Harry should tell me. If I don't hear from King Harry, then I'm going to wonder if you're telling the truth. And I'm going to check with him. Or King Lamont. After that, we send you to the spiritual advisor team. One or the other or both. And they're going to interview you. I don't know what type of questions they ask, but I don't get involved with what the Most High tells them to ask you or talk to you about. So if you don't have no spiritual guidance from the Most High, then you need to go get you some. And if you don't know, well, you need to get with me, King Tocho, and his wife, and we'll get on the phone with you and guide you in the right direction. We'll pray with you. We'll meditate with you, for you. Like we said, this is a spiritual battle. And that's the main thing you need to know. After that spiritual interview is done, the spiritual advisor is going to let me know that you're good. I'm going to jot that down in my notes, that all the interviews have been done. Sometimes there's a disconnect because I might have a lot of things going on. That doesn't mean I'm ignoring you. That doesn't mean I'm out of order. Things happen. Next thing, I would tell you to sign your rules and regulations, read them over. There's a video that shows you about the rules and regulations. You should have already saw that when you did the test. And it says it has to be signed in the king or queen name and the beneficiary name. As you knowing these things are done, check them off. 4, your NDA, which is your non-disclosure agreement, confidentiality agreement, all the same, need to be signed in both your king name and your beneficiary name and uploaded to the tribe website under file submissions or barcode submissions. Same thing goes for the rules and regulations. The reason 3 and 4, because the rules and regulations is separate from the NDA. Do not send them together. I'm going to say it 3 times. Do not send the rules and regulations and the NDA together. Do not send the rules and regulations and the NDA together. They're separate. They go in separate folders. Stop being lazy. Focus on one thing at a time, and things will be all right. Number 5, entry fee of $35 is tendered through Cash App or PayPal. Okay? After you make that payment, you're going to go to 6, fill out the form. Now put it in front of you, or if it's on your computer, pick up the phone and call me. Okay? And make sure you call Tuesday through Friday after 2 p.m. only. When you get on the phone with me, I'm going to tell you to go ahead and upload that entry form, and I'm going to go over that entry form, ask you questions that I need to ask you from looking at it. That's like another interview process. I'm going to ask you questions about those answers that you gave, right? And then I'm going to go to the 100 Kings, 100 Queens website, and I'm going to input your data on the 100 Kings and 100 Queens website. You're going to get an email telling you your password and your login. You're going to change that password because that's only a temporary password. Your username will stay the same. I'm the one that does the registrations here. That's why you have a registrar. Don't go on these websites, our website, trying to register yourself, because that's not the way we do things here. We have problems with that, people putting all kinds of names. No, you are a king or a queen, such and such, of the such and such estate. Stop trying to put what the hell you want to put. You're not going to come in this group telling me you're this and you're that. If you got any other names, keep that mess over there with the Moors. Keep it with them goddamn Jehovah's Witnesses, whoever the hell you with or been with. Don't mix their process with ours. It's a reason why we do what we do. And I said this in plenty of videos. Now, after we finish with that, we're going to go over and I'm going to submit you for step 1. Every time you get to a new step, I will go in and submit you for the next step on our website. So I'll keep track, and me and King Lamont will keep track of who is on step 1, who is on step 2. There's a form that you have to check off on for step 1, and then there's one for step 2, then there's one for step 3. Before you go to any step, there's a checklist that you have to use. Check it off to make sure you have everything done for step 1 completed. Then you move to the next step. This is a thorough process. I told you I walked y'all hand in hand over the finish line. Some of you are like your big boy, big girl. I don't mind holding my brother's hand. I don't mind holding my sister's hand. To get them over the finish line, this is what we have to do. Stand together. Some of y'all so stuck in, it's all about me. It's all about me. I can do this by myself. You are a crab in the pot, my buddy. Because you all by yourself. People like you don't last that long. And no game. And this game is checkers, chess, and Monopoly all mixed in one. Let's see how you beat that. Can any of y'all play those 3 games at one time with 3 different components? You can't. So let me show you how. Next, after I register you on the site, you done got your 2 emails for the step 1 entry, and you registered on the site. You're going to change your password. Then I'm going to tell you, go ahead and pay your monthly dues of $100. Now, there are some people that came in at the end of the month. You came in at the end of the month, then you know that it's only a few days in the month left. So those who tendered any payments, and I'm going to say after the 15th. No, if it was tendered before the 15th, then you would have to pay another monthly dues of $100 on the 1st. You got to the 5th to tender the payment, okay? And if it's not tendered by the 5th, then going into the 10th, I'll be itching to cut you off the website, scratch all your documents, and you'll have to start all over. Now you got to the 5th, but after the 5th, that's cutoff time. When I get to it between the 5th and the 10th, you're out of here. Now, those that tender payment after the 15th, I'm going to allow y'all to not tender anything in the 1st of the month, okay? I'm going to keep your monthly dues going for April, okay? Because I know it's kind of like, you know, there's a timing issue with a lot of things. I've been bombarded with a lot of things, you know, so I'm giving this to y'all now, all right? So after that, and when you do your monthly dues, make sure you put in the note section of Cash App or PayPal, you're going to put MD, okay, for whatever money it is. So if you're going into April, you're going to put MD, that stands for monthly dues. Do not put monthly dues. Just put MD for January, for February, for March, for April, you know, and on and on. That's how you do them. Those that are trying to get a mailbox over in Kenya, then you would have to do those monthly dues every month. That's anywhere from $35 or $30 up to $75. It's whatever you want to tender, because those funds go to the pastor over in Kenya to help their organization, the orphanage, their church. That doesn't go in my pocket. He just wants me to be an administrator on this side for him dealing with these boxes. I showed him he can run this business like this, and he accepts it, but he wants me to be the person between you and him. Now, when you're ready to start moving finances with the United States Treasury, then I'll introduce you to him, and then he'll start dealing with you directly, because now you're dealing with your funds for your bloodline and the things you want to do or need to do. That's between you and him then. I'm out of the picture. So understand how this going, why it goes this way. Right? Now, after the monthly dues has been given, you can either request it, remind me for the step 1 paperwork received. And there's a list below that I'm going to go over of every single thing that you must have. Okay? I might have to send it in 2 different emails, because I know Google was stopping us from uploading certain amount of documents. Even Proton do the same thing. Okay? And we probably need to get away from Proton too, just to let y'all know. But I'll get into that another time. Maybe in Friday night's meeting. Okay? So, you're going to request that paperwork, get that paperwork, and you request it to cityside2006@gmail.com. If I'm on the phone, after we do what we need to do, I get the $100, then I'll submit the paperwork to you. And you're not buying the paperwork. You already know that the monthly dues is just for the barcodes, but I incorporated everything as just a monthly due. Okay? Now, after you receive the step 1 paperwork, that's all you're going to get. You're not going to get no step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. You are not going to get that, because you'll be like this idiot that went and got all the paperwork from me and he tried to fill it all out of order. Dude was putting notaries on the dang depot. You don't put a notary on the depot and let me know he didn't read at all, because the depot instructions clearly state it does not need a signature. He went putting beneficial owner. The beneficiary don't act as the trustee. They're not going to give you any benefits. This is why y'all not being successful. If you're going to be the beneficiary stepping up to be the trustee, you must do certain paperwork to push yourself back into the trustee role, and those benefits need to go in a trust, where you yourself as trustee can't touch it. Because as the trustee, your job is to distribute the benefits to the beneficiary. How in the hell are you going to distribute the benefits to the beneficiary if the beneficiary is the trustee? That's a conflict of interest. Yeah, I'm going to do this for myself. Just like you on the right side and you talking to the left side. So what you looking at me for the left side, and then you jump on the left side, you start talking to the right side, and you say, oh, side? You're jumping back and forth like an idiot. Make your grandbabies or your sons and daughters the beneficiaries. Stop trying to be greedy. Do your job as trustee. All right. After you receive the paperwork, you should be attending one of your first 100 Kings and 100 Queens meetings on Friday night at 9 p.m. I'm telling you now, so if you got a job, you got date night with your wife, this is for your whole bloodline. So throw away that dinner. If you're going to dinner, go early. We shouldn't be eating late at night anyway. Messes with our liver. Messes with our sugar levels. Okay? So, on the meetings, that's your chance to ask King Harry whatever you need to ask him before I come on. King Lamont is there. King Richard is there to help you. All the round table is there to help you. Anybody need spiritual guidance on anything, you ask one of the spiritual advisor teams, and they can, help you, to pray for you, they'll speak to you, guide you. Okay? Like I said, it's a spiritual battle. So don't think this is all paperwork. Right? You need to be meditated up. Meditation. So, after the first meeting, you want to call me, and on this one, you can't call me on Mondays. Monday is my booking and planning day. I got away from that, but now I'm back. But you can call me after 2 p.m. Eastern Time to let me know you want to set up an appointment for some day throughout the week, Tuesday through Friday, to have an appointment to get your first 3 barcodes done. Okay? We don't try to jump in and try to do all 6 at one time, because you'll be confused. You'll put the barcodes on the wrong documents. You can say you're not them all you want, but I tried it numerous times, and y'all failed. Every time. This is why we do it in decency and in order. The main barcodes you need to get first are your durable power of attorney. That kills the power of attorney that the courts have for you, or any other companies you're dealing with, bill companies, claiming to have on you. And this is your proof when you go to the United States Treasury, the IRS, to show and prove that you never gave these people power of attorney. The next is your copyright. Protect your name before you go into commerce, because people will act as you, and you have to fill out the 14039 IRS form for them to get at them. That's what is meant by the Form 56 and the power of attorney. They're filing taxes on your behalf. You didn't give them permission. The other main thing really supposed to be first is your silver, your gold, or your copper registration. That's how you settle the debts. That's how you smoke the rats out, because they're already been paid. But since they're acting like they didn't get paid, well, pay them. And there's only one way to pay. That's with precious metals, real estate, real money, lawful money. And if they don't go to the Treasury to collect, to kill the contract, then you got them. That's why within 3 days, if they don't respond with your funding to the beneficiary, and I would send them a 1041 form as well, to let them know who's the beneficiaries. How in the hell are they even having a trust indenture if you never told them who's the beneficiary? Even though that's an IRS form, put them on notice. Get from me the beneficiary deeds. So you assign your sons and your daughters, then they should be listed on that 1041 form, 1041T, along with the deeds. Those two go together. When you send that to them, you're putting them on notice. Okay? So your silver, if you have the silver certificate that you got from me or the gold certificate, then you're fine. You don't need to do the silver registration. Okay? Unless you just want to, which is worth 1 quintillion US dollars. Equal value. 31 USC 5151 or 5115. It's one of them. Okay? But if you want to get more assets, then that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to tender a separate payment of $45 for that barcode specifically. And then you have to buy your Pyromet card from JM Bullion or moneymetals.com. It's a 1 troy ounce Pyromet, Pyromet, Pyromet card, like a little credit card. And I'll walk you through that on what to do with that. That's if you want to add that additional thing, even if you got the gold certificate or the silver certificate from me. Okay? And I'll get you all the templates with that $45. Okay? The templates, because I've set up and make a design and, do the barcode. It's some work, and people know it takes about 20 minutes just to do that on the phone. When you do your appointments for the barcodes, you need to be on the phone with me before you submit the barcode request. And you're only going to submit one at a time. Don't try to pile them all on one form. One form is for one barcode. If you read the barcode request form, it tells you only one barcode request per barcode form. Okay? Now, that was number 12. Well, no, take that back. That was number 10. Number 11 is your birth certificate is authenticated and your live birth apostille for Mexico. And when it says correctly, it means the same place your 9(8) trust is going to be is the same place your birth certificate is going to be authenticated for, because you're sending the assets, the securities, away to that country. That's where the transfer is going to take place. It needs to be non-Hague, so make sure you check your listing online to see who's part of the Hague and who is not, and do a thorough investigation. Check on that country's website to see if they're part of the Hague, and see which Hague they might be part of, because there's about 6 Hagues that I know of. There's the adoption Hague, and there's the abduction Hague. Okay? Adoption means that someone from that country can move your asset, your son, your daughter, you, to the United States, and when you run over to the United States trying to get it back, you can't get it back. That's where the extradition comes into play, like P. Diddy running away, trying to get him back. Same exact thing. So I hope y'all understand the difference in the abduction and the adoption. Okay? So when you got the Hague, it's about kidnapping. Who's the kid? The kid is you, because the kid is a goat. It's cattle. It left the United States, and if you went to a Hague country, it's a partnership, UN agreement, where they can go over to that country and extradite you back to the United States. If your status ain't corrected the way I show you, then you can't get pulled back. So understand that. It starts locally with that birth certificate. The apostille. You're coming in. If I'm coming into a Hague country, that means they're all are one. Just like Jesus, just like the body of Christ. That's the way they're imitating the body of Christ. Mexico is part of the United States. The United States is part of, what's the name of the country? I don't know. Guatemala. So they're all one. You mess with one, you mess with all. That's why they all go to war together when you mess with one country. They're at your side. So if you're coming in to the United States, because that's what it's going to say when you come into Mexico. Mexico is the United States. The United States is Mexico. You see what I'm saying? Mexico is Switzerland. Switzerland is Mexico. Switzerland is the United States. The United States is Switzerland. You are foreign. Your documents that have to be apostilled that I'm going into. Once they're apostilled, there's the apostille. You're coming into a Hague country. If you come into a Hague country, that means you never was part of the Hague. Number 12, silver or gold certificate of copper bar purchase. I already went into that. I will get to number 11. Number 13, your second set of barcodes done by appointment with King Stevian. And again, you only call after 2 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. I am off on the weekends. I need that. I've been overworking myself. Okay? So your second set is what? Your executive order. That's if you didn't get it done on the first 3. Your trespass and cure document, affidavit. And your security agreement. And some of you, depending on your situation, might have to jump ahead to step 2 and grab your estate number and your 9-8 number. Depends on your situation, because some of you have court cases. Some of you have mortgage issues. So every last one of y'all listening who's doing the house process, you need to get those 2 numbers. Watch my video. I don't care what you did in the past, throw it away. Follow my instructions in the video. The estate number, just type in King Stevian estate number, it'll show you how to do it. King Stevian 9-8 number, it'll show you how to do it. Okay? 14, all barcoded documents, and that's your 6 mandated documents, need to be apostilled from Mexico. Why? Because you have a foreign barcode on that document. That 13-digit barcode represents foreign, which represents private. If you look up the EAN, type in King Stevian EAN number, and I'll break it down. Type in EAN number versus the county, and then type my name in, and I'll break it down, show you the definition, show you everything you need to see about the barcodes. There was some numbskull came on YouTube and had the nerve to ask me, what does it say in the code where you need a barcode? Well, tell that it's damn vital statistics. Who got a barcode on you? Because you're linked to that birth certificate. Now, before I even think about answering, I'm going to tell you, go study your birth certificate. And I shut my mouth. And I rest my case. They started with the barcode game from day 1. Or maybe it was day 3. Depends on when your mama signed the birth certificate. That's how they got you in debt. That's why they say you're born into sin, because you went into commerce. Commerce with these people and living as commerce, living as a straw man is the sin. You sinned because you didn't settle the debt. The scripture tells us to owe no man nothing. You have to settle the debt. So all y'all out there listening who's about to have a baby and you're going to the hospital, there's a certain way you sign that birth certificate. Certain way you sign that application. You need to have your silver stamp with you when you do it. So that way they can't go to the state. They can't go to the Treasury. Settle the debt up front. You're worth your weight in gold. Meaning this is how much you owe. Go back to your birth certificate, see how much you weigh, and they might be asking that in grams. I doubt they're asking in grams. It might be troy ounces. How many ounces was the baby? Total. That's how many troy ounces of gold. And go back to the time when you were born, what was the price of gold? Do your multiplication on that, and that is what's owed. Okay? The debt is settled. You go to the Treasury, look at my video called Do a DLT to show you how to handle that. And then go to the video, the house process, 7 steps to buy a house, and that's to finish up the process. Now the second half of that is the doggone tax paperwork, which I'm not putting on YouTube. I will tell you one-on-one. But you don't have to do that going into these steps. It's just too much work for you. Okay? We'll get to that on step 3 and step 4 of the process. Now, number 15. After you've done all this, you're going to make sure you go get your assumed name in your birth state. Don't do no damn Minnesota, unless you just want a soda. Thirsty ass. You do the assumed name in your birth state the way I show you in the video. Go look at my video on the assumed name. King Stevian, assumed name, and it'll show you how. Make sure you have your copyright that's been apostilled. You can do more than one copyright as well. You should already have a bunch of those copyrights that's been notarized, copied before you have them apostilled. So at any time when you need the apostilled one, just pull out the one from the bunch. Personally, I get about 5 of them done. Copyrights with the notary signature on them. Originals. Because the state can only authenticate or apostille an original document. And they know. They put it under that microscope and they see if there's a real ink right here or if it's copied. But that glass, you know, them diamond cutters have that glass with that one eye. That's how they be looking at it. And then they pass it down to the authentication person. This is fake. We can't authenticate this. So after you got your assumed name, your copyright notarized, then what you're going to do, put them things together. Those two work together. You're going to get the newspaper ad that I give you the template. Don't go putting your own ad in there. Use what we have. Because it has the fire. It has the power. And you're going to tell that newspaper, after you give them the newspaper ad, you don't got to give them your copyright and all that, just give them the newspaper ad. You're going to tell them you want an affidavit of proof after they run in the newspaper. You're only going to run it for 1 day. I don't care what your state say about 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 1 month. Yeah. You're operating in the private. No one controls you in the private. All they need is 1 day. You got your proof. That's what you need. Then they're going to give you back the proof of running, affidavit of proof, and then you're going to make about 10 copies of that. 10 copies of your assumed name, 10 copies of your, or 5 copies of your copyright. And then what you're going to do is with your assumed name, you're going to send that thing away to the other country so you can operate in business over there. So that way when you do go over there, you can just transfer that assumed name into the assumed name over there and operate easily. So you do an authentication on your assumed name for the same country, your birth certificate been authenticated. The same place your 9-8 is at. You see how everything lines up? You're sending the dead away. The living comes in, the dead gets sent away. Authenticate the fake. Okay? Apostille the real. Your documents are real. This is why you apostille your copyright. Last, 16. Your mid-report and your step 1 test completed, submitted and passed. So before you go on to step 2, you cannot move forward without this list. There's a step 1 checklist that goes with this as well. Step 1 test, testing you on all these things up here that you done or supposedly done. So don't ask to move to step 2 unless all this stuff is done on this mid-report. Okay? Now, once you pass the test and your mid-report and step 1 checklist, I can easily move you to step 2. Step 1, expectancy time is 1 month to 2 months to complete. Don't think it's easy. It's a very thorough process. It's setting you up for business in the United States the correct way, knocking these people out the park who've been using your name, stealing funds from the Treasury. So this is the purpose of this thorough movement on step 1. Now, required documents for step 1. This is the package that you should have in the email that I send you after. Let's go here. Step 1 paperwork of number 8, step 1 paperwork received. And it says see below, and that's where we are now. These are all the 20 documents you need. Some might come in one email and the next set might come in the next. Anybody who's watching this video that's in our group, don't ask for this if you're not a member. Me and you have done all the stuff up there I told you about. About, passing the test, getting your interviews, paying your $100, paying the $35 entry fee, tendering. Don't ask for this because I'm not giving it to you. Anybody on the outside, I'm not giving our paperwork. Because what y'all trying to do is use our paperwork to do whatever you need to do to get away with whatever crime you probably done. And if anybody coming to me who been on child support or on child support, if you're not willing to take care of your seed freely, then don't reach out to me. Because I do not assist deadbeats. I love my 6 and my, 6 grandbabies. 6 sons and daughters, 6 grandbabies, and got a 7th on the way. It's all about tribe. And if you're not doing this here for your tribe, walk away. You're trying to do it to show off for the public. I don't want to deal with you. That ain't what this is about. This is about your bloodline here. Keep telling you, stop worrying about other people, which I should be doing it myself, not worried about y'all and worried about my tribe. But I took the time out to come help y'all. So let's get into these documents. Form 56. Why? Because there's a dead thing. There's a dead entity that the courts been ruling over, saying you're dead. They're going to the Social Security Administration, they're going to the IRS, they're going to the Treasury, saying you're dead. We get time, read 31 CFR 240.14 all the way down, 17 all the way down there somewhere. But read that. Study that thing day and night, meditate on it day and night. About the power of attorney. And then when you get down to the bottom about the codes, about the power of attorney, read those power of attorneys. Your king name or queen name is over the straw man name. First, middle, last. Do not use your married name. All y'all that got these Moorish names that you went to court to get, all y'all that have these marriage names that went to court to get, you need to change those names back to the all caps names your mammy gave you. Stop disrespecting your mama. Stop disrespecting your tribe. If you want to be a Bay or Moor or whatever you want to be, an Indian, are you. Keep it in the private. Because if you go on a Form 56 and you put John Alex Doe Bay, who is John Alex Doe Bay over? Can't be over nobody but John Alex Doe Bay. You can't be over yourself. Your inner self, yeah. But we're talking about the straw man. So your private name, which is John Alex Doe Bay, should have never been in the courtroom. John Alex Doe is the straw man, and John Alex Doe Bay still can't be over it because the name is still the same. You just threw a Bay on the end. That's not different. So I told y'all in the 7 Steps of Freedom how to do the name. Go read 31 CFR 240.14 all the way down. It'll tell you that the two names have to be different. They are not the same names. And y'all wonder why y'all ain't getting solutions or remedy. Next, your 2848. Why? Now your Form 56 goes to the IRS. You need to set up an appointment to go in that office. A lot of the offices are stopping doing that, but you have to go in there, turn that in. You're going in as the king or queen. This is why I say you do want to get your world passport first in your king or queen name. You got to get with King Harry about that. Okay? Watch my video on that. Now, after you turn that in on that one appointment, you're going to wait maybe another couple of weeks. Then you're going to go back in with your 2848 and your durable power of attorney. Those two will go together. That's why it's right on number 7. Those two go together. You should have that as a template, this as a template. Your WA-BNIMY, number 3. That is needed to be the tax collector to stop the jobs from taking out taxes on you, stop anyone from taking out taxes on you, because you are the tax collector. The WA-BNIMY is the intermediary for you to go to the Treasury. No one's supposed to be going to the Treasury on your behalf. Anytime a job takes out taxes, they are your intermediary. Anytime the IRS is dealing with you, that is a tax. That amount is a tax, and they're going to the Treasury because it's going through the TTL, the Treasury tax and loan. This is why they set up the banks, to be the locations for the tax collections. If you know anything about the TTL and you read up on it, you will see I'm telling you the truth. So that WA-BNIMY cuts all that out. That goes if you give this to your bank, you give it to your job, you give it to child support. They cannot collect for you anymore. Number 4, barcode request form. Before, again, you submit a barcode request form, you need to contact me to make sure you have an appointment first. Then once you're on the phone with me, you submit this form. Right now we're on barcode request form number 7 edition. So make sure you have that one. You have your civil registration deed. Okay? That's the one you fill out. If you got the Pyromet card, then this is what you're going to use. But if you got the silver deed from the silver certificate, then you don't need this one. Okay? So you can eliminate that. That would take the place of the silver registration deed because you won't need a barcode. And that is not included in the $100 a month, this one right here. Neither is the $50 silver certificate or the gold certificate. Those are separate because there's more work involved. Number 6, the common law copyright. That's your worldwide common law copyright. I know a lot of people, before coming into this group, they want to deal with Copyright Depot. Throw that mess away. There are frauds, They're scam artists. Whoever told y'all this, man. That site is part of, they said, the Berne Convention when you read it. The Berne Convention is part of the Hague Convention. The Berne Convention tells you how long your copyright lasts. That's under their jurisdiction. Because you're going to go running back to daddy saying, oh, these people violated my copyright, what are you going to do about it? Now, let me tell you how these people are frauds. On our copyright, ours is, and I have to show y'all, if you're going to look up my copyright on YouTube, you'll see how it's done. Just go to YouTube and type in copyright for, and you put Stevie Tyrone Thompson. It's a couple on there, but watch how I did that one. Okay? The copyright under the Berne Convention is only for literacy and musical works, not for names. Your name is like a title. So in that case, you can't copyright a title. If so, I can look at Katy Perry's song Dark Horse, and if she don't want nobody else making a song called Dark Horse, you know what? She can stop me. But she can't, because you can't copyright a title. Don't you know if titles were copywritten, then there would be less music in this world? Because you would have to find a way to word the title of your song. You might have to spell Dark Horse different. I might have to spell Dark Horse D-A-R-C horse instead of D-A-R-K horse. I hope y'all get this. Literacy and musical works. Literacy is like books. Your name ain't a book. Then musical works would be the actual verses and the chorus of the full entire song. Your name is not a song. But I know how to make it a song. Copyright Depot, don't do this and don't know this.
Don't do this and don't know this.
Pull that mess off of that damn site immediately. I know copyright since I was 15 years old. And I know the game even more strongly now. These people have lied to y'all. And I double dog dare any punk to sit and tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. It's a shame how y'all treating people and lying to them.
And lying to them.
Your name ain't protected. What's different about mine and ours is this. It's a patent. Okay? It's a trademark. And the way I did mine, it's a song. So it's musical works. But I ain't told nobody how to do it. All right? So, the next is the durable power of attorney. And that's the thing you're going to have to need to prove that these corporations did not have power of attorney over you. Okay? You can have more than one power of attorney. But that on this durable power of attorney, in fact, you become the agent. The king or queen becomes the agent. Your brother, sister, son, or daughter becomes the agent. Okay? This is why when you finish the 7-step process, it should reflect on your bank accounts in your birth state, showing that you're the agent over the bank account. You're the custodian. Okay? So next is your executive order. Your executive order is needed. Why? So that way you can send notice to all the corporate crackheads, that's all the bill collectors, that you're coming. You figured this mess out. You know what they're doing, and you're telling them and ordering them to give all the securities back. These trust indentures, send it to them. Send it to their company that they're working for, and order them. In that executive order, it orders them to give the lawful money. You done already put them on notice coming in the door already. So as soon as you get this executive order, you better make 100 copies. 100 copies of it. It does not have to be notarized. It's just a letter, a notice to them. But you do want your tracking numbers on all these you sent out. Send it to all the bill collectors you ever had. All the way back down to the hospital, Secretary of the State, the courthouse, Sheriff's Department, Police Department if you had a ticket. You gotta put them on notice. You had an attorney at one point, send it to them. Everybody's gonna get the business. USPS if you bought stamps. Everybody you can think of, you need to start making your list at this point. That you spent fiat with since you were born. You was that little baby with that bottle hanging out your mouth and you was 3 years old, standing up with your big old belly button poking out your stomach with your pamper hanging off. Then, whoever you gave that $1 to, that your mama said get that $1 to for that little candy bar or that sucker, you go after they behind you. Everybody gets the business. It's time to lower the national debt. Okay? Get the books right. Balance the books. Number 9, trespass and cure affidavit, which was formerly called the fee schedule. Some of you still stuck on fee schedule, which is for medical and insurance. But the trespass and cure affidavit is what it's really called. If they trespass, they need to cure. They violate it, they need to cure. You put them on notice that they trespass, they have to cure. Okay? That's your protection. 10, commercial security agreement. This is showing that first in line, first in time, your trust is the secured party creditor, not you. You are the beneficiary. In the private, you are the king or queen. Okay? And like I was telling the king yesterday, go look up the definition of registration in Black's Law Dictionary, edition 3 or edition 5, and you will see that it's a king's decree. Doesn't mean that queens are not involved as well. In reality, the king is the one that's supposed to be doing the work for the queen. Just to throw that out there. But since there's a lot of men that are just not strong enough, the woman kings have stepped up to the plate. So the security agreement is first in line, first in time. It's between the foreign trust and the straw man. Why? Because the trust took care of all the business, all the bills, all the stuff and the mess and handled it for that straw man. The straw man owes it. Now remember, a lot of you might not need the security agreement yet if you're not in no difficulties, no situations dealing with court, all that stuff there. You're not dealing with that right now, then you don't need the security agreement at this moment. When you get to step 2, then you can get it, because it requires a 98 number. But if you are, you have to jump ahead, get the 98, go ahead and do your security agreement, get it notarized. It don't have to be apostilled, actually. If you want to, you can. That's what's going to be uploaded to the UCC once you get to step 7. If you got any UCCs, anything that you've done before you came to this group, please go terminate it immediately. UCCs, get rid of them. Copyright depots, get rid of them. Any of these documents you ain't dealt with from any other group, throw them away, because it will conflict. If you got a Duns and Bradstreet number, I don't care what business it was, go terminate it. You only supposed to be operating in trust. Go right now pause the video and go type in 12 USC. When you go type in 12 USC, you're going to go under where it says deposits. Under that definition and under the rules of it, it tells you this. That none of the funds deposited for a trust or from a trust can be securitized. Meaning, whatever you give to these phone companies, mortgage companies, whatever, they cannot go to the Treasury and create a bond on you. Because the trust is the one that's supposed to be handling this stuff anyway. It's supposed to be competent, or its administrators or executors supposed to be competent enough to know how to handle this stuff themselves. So, remember that. It says that they cannot use those funds just like they use an individual funds. When they go to the Treasury, get the lawful money, lie to you, and all that. No.
Your house supposed to be in your trust name. Everything's supposed to be in your trust name.
First, middle, last with the word trust at the end. Don't use all that revocable bull crap. Morris this, Morris that. My mama, she just read trust, all this stupid stuff. First, middle, last, trust. If it ain't that way, you better throw it away.
If it ain't that way, you better throw it away.
Number 11, 8822B, 3 different ones. Why? 8822B is the address change. It's changing the address from the United States to the foreign address, so these people can't come after you, so they can't see you and fraud you. Your stuff is held in trust, which is in your foreign country where your 9-8 is at. It should match up. You got 3 different names. You got your estate, you got your straw man, and you should have the 9-8 address if the address was in a different place. Okay? And since it's foreign funds, you can put the beneficiary over there. But when you get the forms, you will see. This is how the beneficiary is going to be able to spend the foreign funds. Can't spend foreign funds in the domestic. Your ass will be going to jail. You'll be locked up beneficiary. So, who are you? You be in jail, so I'm the beneficiary. Well, what the hell are you benefiting in here for? Anyway, number 12. Newspaper ad template. I already explained about the newspaper ad template and how you operate with it. You're supposed to get the affidavit of proof after you run it in the newspaper. If you don't get an affidavit of proof, the affidavit of proof should be notarized by the newspaper. And then when you get that back, you're going to take that newspaper to the Secretary of State through the mail. Stop walking in these buildings. I know a lot of times we've been antsy for a lot of things, but we got to slow down. Mail it in, because you need a track record. These are the things that are going to go in your step 6 booklet, which is your non-UCC booklet. Okay? So, next thing is your mid-report document. I went over that. Your mid-report document keeps you updated on what you're supposed to be doing to graduate to step 2. It got a list of everybody you should be hitting up for the return of your lawful money, the return of the funding that you gave that should go back to your straw man. Okay? Number 14, step 1 test, habeas corpus test, and checkoff list. Like I mentioned up front about the checkoff list, as the checkoff list for step 1, you got to take a step 1 test. You're going to be tested on everything. You're going to have a habeas corpus test. Why? Why the habeas corpus? Because with the habeas corpus test, it teaches y'all, and I'll tell you what codes to study. You're going to learn about the habeas corpus because you need to know if you didn't do anything wrong, and these commercial corporate crackheads
commercial corporate crackheads
want to sit here and say you did a crime, do you use that habeas corpus? If you didn't violate no federal law as a foreigner, then you're good. But if you did, and you use the habeas corpus, then it's out of the hands of the state and all of them, and it goes into the federal, and then they pass it down to the military, possibly the Department of Immigration or whatever, and they'll handle that with the military, and they'll decide they're going to extradite your behind where your 9A trust is at. So you need to stay on your good behavior. Don't be trying to fraud nobody. Don't fraud yourself. Don't fraud the government. That is not why we're here.
commercial corporate crackheads.
Checkoff list, already said that. It's just like your mid-report, but it's a little bit more detailed. 15, your invoice for your bills. This invoice, when it's time to use the invoice, that invoice barcode comes from your affidavit of ownership barcode. So any bill you're dealing with, you have to have an affidavit of ownership with. You have to have an assignment affidavit, which both are deeds. Okay, they're deeds. Those two should go with this invoice bill. And you should have the accepted for credit contract or document invoice that you wrote on, the way I told you in the 7 steps to buy a home video. Okay? Your power of attorney 236 will go with it. When you send this first thing out with this invoice, those are the things that go with it. Okay? Also, your deed poll facing back to back to let them know that you are alive, especially if it's the court. Because once you send it to the court, they should back up. If they don't back up, then you just have to file a lawsuit in the Supreme Court to have them remove themselves from your name. But you can get them at that point for violation of copyright. And there's a document I have. It's a violation of the copyright. It's a different name on there, but you would have to request that if your copyright has been violated. And remember, you will be using it can be a 4797. Come on, mainly with the government, that's what it is. I think it's the 46, whatever, it's another IRS form around here somewhere I have. That goes with it when we're doing the taxes, but I'm not going to get into that right now. Okay? Number 16. Default affidavit for bills, and I'm going to do a video on that after this one. Okay, so y'all know about this new document that I did, affidavit. It's brand spanking new. None of y'all really know about it. There's only two kings I gave this to, King David and King Chocho. They're the only two that got this document. And another thing, let me say that while I'm on this, stop showing the public our documents. Stop showing it off, stop sharing it. Because I know these bastards are going to take these documents, they're going to not do the barcode, they're going to do it the way they want to do, they're going to change it up, and then they're going to try to run with it and get no remedy, no solution. You get no remedy and no solution, then you stuck like Chuck. Opportunity to cure. This is when the bill collector don't go to the Treasury on your behalf and they fail to bring back your lawful money after you gave them your asset. So now the IRS got to be put on notice by the asset you put in the public. Or unless you're going to be taxed on that. So now they're liable for taxes, not filing taxes, not bringing back the lawful money, cheating the Treasury, cheating the IRS, cheating you, cheating your bloodline. Number 17, notary acknowledgement for bills. Anytime you have a contract, an invoice, you should always add a notary acknowledgement page on there. Make sure they're all numbered equally in order. Then you get it notarized, then you go get it authenticated. For the same country your 9A country is, because that's the country where the funds are going to be transferred back to by the United States Treasury. Now that makes it an original document once it's authenticated. Because the state only notarizes, only authenticates an original document. So now, why do you have that? You gave them an original document, you want to get about 2 of them. Because you're giving the bill collector opportunity to go to the Treasury with the original document to get the lawful money. If they don't do it and you're done everything you're supposed to do that I showed you, and then leave no stone unturned, they are liable. And now you go to the Treasury on them, the bond is reversed, it's not on you anymore, it's on them. This is how you reverse the bond. It don't supposed to be on a being anyway. It's supposed to be on a corporation. The being is the beneficiary. Unless they step out of that role and get into the trustee role. Next is the deed poll. You should have the deed poll in this package. That's the white deed poll. It has the instructions on it. You better read it. Read it thoroughly. Take a week and read it. Study it. Study the words that you don't understand. Look up the definitions of them. Because this is how you correct your status. Read it, it tells you. This is their document, not ours. You wonder how I got my status corrected? There it is, right there, number 18. Also in that packet, you have the deed poll paper color template. That's the blue color that you need to print out on white watermark paper, front and back alone. Make you a stack of this paper. And then when you get ready to do the deed poll, and so you fill it out on your computer, you stick it in your computer printer, make sure everything's the correct way it needs to be. Look at my video, type in King Stevian deed poll, it'll show you, and you hit print, it'll come out the way it needs to be on that blue paper. You attach that back to back to the bill that you're sending the corporation to let them know your status is corrected, you're competent, you know what the heck is going on, as you already told them from number 8 above. The executive order you was coming. So now they can't come back, say anything. When you get a chance, type in on Google, Cornell Law University, incompetency. Incompetency. And when you read that, you'll understand why the executive order, the deed poll, and the durable power of attorney is necessary. It shows that you are competent. You don't need a power of attorney. Their attorney. Attorney means you are incompetent. Sometimes you can have an attorney just for one day. That doesn't mean you're necessarily incompetent now. Because you're only ordering them. This is why you have the WAB and IMY that lets them know I have my own power of attorney. Here's my IMY. I'm just hiring you to go do this job for me. Here's the percentage you can get. And normally it's anywhere from 12 to 30% you can give them. So just write a note in there, you can keep 30%. Or whatever percentage you're going to give them. Because they're working for you. But they already stole. So now they owe you, and you don't have to pay them nothing. Last but not least, the Treasury POA, and I need to change that to R, my bad. It was the form, I don't know how the hell I did that. I was thinking about a poem when I did that. Anyway, the power of attorney, Treasury 236 template. This goes out with all that other stuff dealing with the bills. And not trying to get into bill stuff, but this is what you're going to need. Because when you settle the debts on the things that you spent on step 1, the Secretary of State, the United States Postal Service, anything you spent fiat on, Cash App, PayPal, okay? So that way you can send this out with those documents to give them the power of attorney to go to the Treasury only for that incident, which is that bill. Okay? And it's done. So those are the 20 documents that y'all need. Requires step 1 document package. When you pass your test. Okay? Well, I tell you, go in this order. This is the order. Don't ask for these documents until these first documents are done. 1 through 7. These first things are done. Step 8 comes into play. If you do it out of order, I'm going to cut you out of order. You got this list? If you don't have this list, send me an email request, not to my Gmail. Send it to King Stevian, the number 1, at gmail.com. I don't want to see nothing in my Gmail about this. I don't want to see nothing in my Yahoo about it. Some of y'all take it upon y'allself. Y'all just want to do whatever the hell you want to do, and your ass to be ignored. I'm going to delete it. Only the people individuals that send something to that email I just gave, King Stevian with the number 1 at gmail.com, will get this list. Only those who are a member, not no outside beings. You ain't a member and ain't did everything before this test, I took the test and passed it, you don't deserve none of this. Anyway, you're not a member. And all this other stuff better be done leading down to number 7. Because I will check to see on my list, on my member list. All right? With that being said, if you use this information to get free, do not blame me. Blame the L, the O, the R, the D. Won't he do it? Oh yes, he'll do it. So what you need to do is get this knowledge and start to pursue it. I'm King Stevian, representing the 100 Queens. Notice I said Queens first. And the 100 Kings. I'm King Stevian. I am out. And in memory of Queen Cheryl, one of the songs that she loved Lil Kaylee, I'm playing this song in memory of you, because I know you love this song, Queen. All right? King Stevian, I'm out. Peace. We are tried.
We are tried. We are tried. We are tried. We are tried. We are tried. We King Stevian. Kaylee. We are tried. Let's ride. We are tried. We won't ever die. We'll bliss, not miss till the end of time. Heaven and earth may pass away, but the tribe will live from the words to say. We scream checkmate, cause we got our stakes. The Lord sent me, so there's higher stakes. There's higher learning, higher earning. Lawful money, through it I'm burning. No more yearning, the table's turning. Triggered back from the Europeans, now with ferment. The liar's deal, it's the art of the deal. Shower like Trump Tower, so the love is real. Now how you feel, we got the farming fields. Not like Man Sanders or Microsoft Bill. In the way, moving out the way, so I can thank the Lord for sending me your way.
Thank you, Heavenly Father.
We are tried.
For shining your light on me. You